Venezuela firmly and categorically rejects the U.S. designation of the non-existing Cartel de los Soles as a terrorist organization and the rehearsing of a lie to justify the intervention. Mexico warns of a possible invasion of its embassy in Peru, following statements by Peruvian President José Herri. In Palestine, almost 400 violations of the October 10th ceasefire have been reported in Gaza, while Israel continues to push past the agreed-upon yellow line. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Sophie Fernandez from the teleSUR studios in Havana, Cuba. We begin with the news. Stay with us. Venezuela rejects the designation of the non-existent Cartel de los Soles as a terrorist organization made by the U.S. Department of State to justify an illegitimate and illegal intervention against the country. The Venezuelan government has confirmed that this is an attempt at regime change, reaffirming that the country's popular military and police forces will protect the peace and the highest interests of the Bolivarian revolution. The government also emphasized that the Venezuelan people are united and focused on national life. He added that these actions by the White House seek to divert attention from domestic issues and general instability, and urged the U.S. administration to rectify what it considers to be an erratic policy of aggression. It also stated that these measures affect the development of the Caribbean peoples and do not contribute to a genuine fight against the illicit drug trade. For his part, the President of Venezuela, Nicolás Maduro, expressed his gratitude for international support in defense of the right to peace in Venezuela and throughout Latin America, in the face of escalating imperialist aggression by the United States. During his television program, Con Maduro Más, President Nicolás Maduro also thanked the thousands of Christian churches in the United States that have expressed their solidarity with Venezuela, defending its right to peace and rejecting Washington's imperialist aggressions. In this sense, the Venezuelan leader highlighted the commitment of the people and government of Venezuela in perfect unity to guarantee the continuation of peace and stability throughout the national territory. He also applauded the resistance and commitment of the entire Venezuelan people, who have succeeded in overcoming all the threats and aggressions of U.S. imperialism. Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro led the Council of Ministers meeting to expand public policies related to the 7 transformations. The meeting was held within the context of the expansion of public policies related to the 7 transformations, aimed at making Venezuela a powerful nation, as outlined in the 2025-2031 Homeland Plan. Among the topics on the agenda were the results of the 4th popular consultation held this past Sunday, November 23rd. It is worth noting that President Nicolás Maduro indicated that the direct distribution of resources to communes for the financing of this first winning project begins on November 25th.
Tuvimos, muchachas, muchachos, un día extraordinario.
Yesterday was an extraordinary day for us, girls and boys. For me personally, but for the whole country it was extraordinary. We had a record participation in the general communal referendum elections to choose the projects, an overwhelming victory for the desire for peace and the decision-making capacity of the neighbors in the country. Democracy, freedom, participation, protagonism, new communal state. There it is. If anyone asks what the communal state is, more democracy. What is the communal state? People's power. What is the communal state? Neighbors' power. What is the communal state? Efficiency and effectiveness in building works. What is the communal state? Holding for annual consultations to choose 2 projects for each commune in the country. What is the communal state? Freedom, equality, and fraternity.
Libertad, igualdad y fraternidad.
In other news, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva stated on Monday that his country will not be a mere exporter of critical minerals, but will seek to industrialize them to generate added value and strengthen its development. During a business forum in Mozambique, Lula emphasized the urgency for nations to define sovereign models for the exploitation of these resources, protecting the interests of the developing countries. The Brazilian leader had already highlighted the importance of critical minerals such as lithium, nickel, cobalt, manganese, graphite, and rare earth elements during the G20 summit in Johannesburg, pointed out that their fundamental role in the energy transition and technological sovereignty. In other news, in Nicaragua, the Casimiro Sotelo Montenegro University of Managua inaugurated the Commander Fidel Castro Cruz Museum of Natural Sciences. This hall, inaugurated on the 9th anniversary of the passing of the leader of the Cuban Revolution, seeks to promote scientific and environmental interests among the students in the university. The alma mater highlighted the historical legacy and deep revolutionary admiration for Commander Fidel. In this sense, university teachers and students place a floral offering at the foot of the image of the Cuban leader as a sign of their commitment to his ideas and principles of anti-imperialist struggle. And now we have a short break coming up. But first, remember you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you will find news in different formats, news updates, and more. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Mexico warns of a possible invasion of its embassy in Peru, following statements by Peruvian President José Gerri. President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico condemned Lima's provocative actions against her embassy for granting asylum to former Peruvian Chief of Staff Betsy Chavez. The head of state argued that the right to asylum is recognized by international law, and therefore interfering in her diplomatic space would constitute a violation. Peruvian President José Gerri threatened to force his way into the Mexican embassy, as it happened in Ecuador in 2025. Furthermore, Sheinbaum highlighted the good relations with the President of Honduras, Xiomara Castro, who is about to hand over her government ahead of the presidential elections on November 30th.
Xiomara is about to close her term as president.
Nos hemos hecho pues buenas amigas.
We've become good friends since I met her when she came here. And this is also a recognition of the work she has done leading the government of Honduras. There's a strong relationship with Honduras in terms of economic activity and many other initiatives that have been carried out so far, and we intend for them to continue.
Now we move to Honduras, where on Monday the National Electoral Council, CNE, continued with the transfer of the material that will be used in the general election scheduled for Sunday. Over 6.5 million citizens are called to the polls to elect the successor of President Xiomara Castro, in a process that will set the political course for the Central American country. The CNE emphasized that election materials are being distributed to the various departments and municipalities, ensuring that each polling station has the ballots, ballot boxes, and equipment necessary for voting. The elections will determine not only the new president, but also 3 presidential appointees, 298 mayors, 128 deputies to the National Congress, and 20 to the Central American Parliament. Honduras on the Move is a journalistic series by teleSUR that covers various regions of this Central American nation to show the world stories of success and human development. On this occasion, our special envoy Roberto Hugo Presa and the series production team have traveled to the department of Comayagua, where they got a first-hand look at the coffee production project led by women.
In the upper part of the central western region of Honduras is the department of Comayagua, Amidst clouds and mountains lies La Libertad, a small municipality dedicated to growing coffee. And amidst the coffee plantations, we met Leticia and Valeska, two coffee producers who are running successful enterprises.
It is something that has been exclusive to men, but today women have been gradually making our way into this sector, which I am very proud to belong to, and also to represent as a woman.
I have been involved in this production process for about 10 years now, because I manage everything. I bring the people, I go to find the cutters, I work with them, and I even cut coffee with them.
These women not only manage their crops on their farm, but have now moved on to producing and marketing their own brand.
What we have always done as a family is grow coffee. But now we also have our own coffee brand, and we also have a coffee shop where we serve our coffee.
The example, the tenacity, and the success of these producers have inspired many women whom they have helped in their enterprises.
Many women come here and we share. We do a lot of training. And we also share our conversations as women.
I am not only making an impact on other women, but also on my daughters. I have 2 daughters, and I want to leave them with the legacy that coffee is part of our culture, and that they too can and are capable of doing it.
These women are part of a cooperative that promotes the development of the golden grain in Comayagua, a department that leads the country's production of nearly 15 million quintals per year.
Coffee is exported from Comayagua, and in addition to that, the agro industry is being promoted to great extent, which is about adding value to the product, to coffee. Today, many people already have their own coffee brands and coffee shops, and they sell coffee products. This makes us very proud because we as a country also have to encourage this added value, and not just the sale of raw materials.
The government supports coffee producers. The Coffee Growers Bonus Program has benefited thousands of small coffee growers with supplies, and now they're ready to deliver tools from a donation by the Chinese government valued at $200 million.
A kit for textile handling that includes a chainsaw, a chopper, a seeder, and a motor pump, which are key tools that help us with fumigation against rust, wheat, and tissue handling, which is very important on coffee farms.
The kits will also be sent to production companies in La Libertad as an incentive to continue growing.
We have a second short break coming up. Before, we invite you to visit our Facebook page at teleSUR English. There you'll be able to watch our top stories, special live coverage, and much more. Follow our page and activate the notification button to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final short break, but we'll be right back with more from the south. Don't go away. Welcome back. Israeli forces killed at least 4 Palestinians and wounded several others across Gaza despite a 6-week ceasefire that Israel has violated with nearly daily attacks. Israel violated the ceasefire agreement at least 393 times from October 10th to November 20th, through the continuation of attacks by air, artillery, and direct shootings. Israel shot at civilians 113 times, raided presidential areas beyond the Yellow Line 17 times, bombed and shelled Gaza 174 times, and demolished people's properties on 85 occasions. Israel had also detained 35 Palestinians from Gaza over the past month. Monday attacks include artillery, air raids, and helicopter strikes reported in both northern and southern parts of the enclave. In Vietnam, Floods leave over 40 people dead, dozens displaced, and serious damage to infrastructure and property in the south and center of the country. According to the latest reports, 62,000 citizens were displaced and more than 52,000 homes were damaged. Rescue teams are working to locate 9 missing people. In addition to the landslides that caused the closure of several major roads and power outages affecting more than 1 million people. In the city of Niashung, soldiers and rescuers transferred residents to safe areas while providing essential supplies, including drinking water and food to those affected.
Nhà trường cũng sớm cho học sinh đi học trở lại. Việc khắc phục hệ thống nước và điện cũng đang được khẩn trương triển khai để việc cần dẹp.
Meanwhile, in the United States, a line of severe storms in Harris County, Texas, damaged homes, cut powers to thousands, and triggered tornado warnings Monday. Aerial footage from ABC 13 showed significant damage to a number of homes, along with scattered debris. The station said severe winds and an isolated tornado continue to be possible into the evening. Forecasters warn of flooding rain and the possibility of severe thunderstorms Monday from Texas to Arkansas and Louisiana into Mississippi. By Monday evening, more than 1,000 flights into and out of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport were delayed and over 100 canceled, according to the flight tracking site FlightAware. In other news, the Haile Gobi volcano, located in northern Ethiopia, erupted for several hours for the first time in almost 12,000 years. The volcano, which spouted thick columns of smoke, is located about 800 kilometers northeast of the Addis Ababa, the capital, leaving the nearby village of Afdera covered in ash. The columns of smoke covered Yemen, Oman, India, and northern Pakistan. The authorities did not report any victims caused by the eruption. However, the eruption could have economic consequences for the livestock herders who live in the area. To date, the Afar authorities have not declared the number of people displaced. Moving on to Sudan, the army rejected the peace mediation proposed by the United States, describing it as a BS and in favor of paramilitary groups. In a speech to the nation, the top military leader, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, said that the U.S. plan also favors the United Arab Emirates, a country accused of supporting the rapid support forces in Sudan. He also denounced the proposal to disband the armed forces, stating that this process would leave rebel militias in control of their zones, which he described as a call for division of Sudan. In this regard, the military leadership stated that they had delivered their own conditions for stopping the conflict to the mediators, demanding the total withdrawal of the paramilitaries from all cities and the exclusion of the United Arab Emirates from the group of peacekeepers. In other news, the 6th Russia-China Business Forum is taking place until this Tuesday. The aim of the forum is to strengthen economic and diplomatic ties between the two countries. The event aims to expand commercial and economic cooperation between small and medium-sized enterprises in both countries. The Moscow delegation indicates that businesses with Beijing is expanding, and they are jointly preparing to launch more than 80 projects, valued at up to $200 billion. The delegation from the Asian giant also mentioned that so far in 2025, China has officially registered around 13,000 companies, surpassing the number of Western companies operating in the Russian market. And like this, we have come to the end of this news brief. You can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media. We're on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For telesur English, I'm Sophie Fernandez. Thank you for watching.